Journalism is a profession that reports what is happening throughout the globe. So those who write, generally we call them as the journalists, and there are different journalists who cover different kinds of beats. So journalists are the individuals who they select the news, they interpret, they evaluate the news for the benefit of the individuals who are there in the society, and they are the one who are depending on the media institutions to get the news. Journalist is the one who contributes somewhere or the other, gathering selection process of news and current affairs. It also includes the news articles along with the feature articles that also become the part of the news. So here the journalists are gathering and selecting, along with that they are processing the news and current affairs for the benefit of the readers, viewers, and the listeners. Who are the one who are called as the journalists? The editors, correspondents, assistant editors, reporters, sub-editors, proofreaders, cartoonists, photographers. Generally, photographers are called as photojournalists, and all of these are called as the journalists. So here, the editor is the one who is responsible for what is printed in a newspaper or what is carried in a broadcast media, and we have correspondents who are assigned different beats to cover. So they cover the beats, and what they write, we call it as a copy. What the newspaper organization gets is a copy. We call it as a bureau copy, and the bureau copy is again edited by the people who are called as the sub editors. And we also have the reporters who are working for the media organizations. They cover different beats, and assistant editors who assist the editors, and sub editors are the one who looks after the errors which are being there in the copies which are being provided by the either the agency copy, a bureau copy, mufassil copy, etc. All those copies will get into the general desk, and where the sub-editors will sit and proofread, they correct the copy, and then only that is going to be printed. Then only we are able to read the newspaper. And we also have cartoonists, and to break the monotony in a newspaper, we also use different photographs. Along with that, cartoon also are going to be accompanied in a news pages. So here cartoonists are the one uh, who creates the cartoons for a newspaper. And so here the camera crew, audio and video editors, etc. And we also have news readers, news what we call the news anchors also. And the producers are nothing but the one who looks after different programs in a broadcast media. So like we have a uh, suppose if it is a Tinmar Mallana, whatever you see, Tinmar Vartalu, or specific programs, what we call them as a magazine programs, every day on a particular time, those programs will be transmitted for the benefit of the viewers. So those specific programs are being produced by the producers, and we have different producers in a media organization. They look after the different programs. So apart from that, we also have strangers based on the content which they provide, the number of words which are printed in a newspaper, or the story which is going to be transmitted in broadcast media. Based on that, they will be paid. And we also have freelance journalists. They also contribute in the form of the news or articles for the newspapers, and also the programs which may they make, and those programs might be transmitted through the broadcast media. So those are the one who contribute voluntarily, called as the freelance journalists. So here the journalists are the one who select the news, they gather the news, they interpret the news for the benefit of the viewers, listeners, and the readers. Journalism means writing for the newspapers and magazines, and along with that, journalism also is something that relates to the broadcast media also. So here, journalism is a profession where we write for the newspapers, magazines, and also for the broadcast media. And here, as an individual, we have a desire to know what is happening, and desire is something which has been satisfied by the journalist in the form of providing a news or the views, or it can be anything which is provides entertainment or something else. So here, as an individuals, we might be having different kinds of needs, and all those needs are going to be satisfied by this profession called journalism. The education needs, entertainment needs, instructional needs, or cognitive needs. According to Webster Third International Dictionary, journalism is the collection, editing of material of current interest for the presentation, publication, or a broadcast media. So, journalism is communication of information. Just now I said media provides a lot of information, instruction, education to the readers, viewers, and also the listeners. So, here journalism means communication of information. Information in the sense it can be anything, it can be relates to the events which are happening throughout the globe. And if you see the news, north, east, west, and south, in simple form, if we can say, so throughout the globe, whatever is going to happen, that kind of information, what relates to the information, is going to be provided for the mass media audiences with the help of the print media, broadcast media, or with the help of the new media forms of communication. Journalism provides this information with the help of the written words, sounds, or pictures, which means written words are something which are being going to be carried by the newspapers, magazines, etc., and sounds which can be carried with the help of the radio and the pictures. Sounds and pictures, those includes in the television. So television, as it is a audiovisual medium, we can hear and we can also see what is being presented by the uh, broadcast media called television. And journalist is a person who writes for a newspaper or a magazine. And just now we have discussed, so those who are contributing for the newspapers in the form of selecting the news, gathering the news, presenting the news, etc., all of them called as the journalists of a particular media organization. Journalism is communication of news. Just now I said the news is anything which happens throughout the globe, anything which has a news value, that is called as a news. So it also includes the feature articles which are being going to be provided in the newspapers. Those will provide entertainment for the readers. So here the feature articles are written in a more creative way when you compare with the news article. So the important aspect of the journalism, there is an element called timeliness. So unless the news is printed on a particular day, or unless the news is carried on a particular day in the broadcast media, that will not have any value for the next day. So because of that, keeping in view the various news values in mind, the news is going to be covered on the day to day basis. So journalists will have a deadline, the 24 hours deadline, and during the midnight 12 o'clock or more than 12, 1 or 2 o'clock, etc., they finally submit the paper, and at 2 o'clock, etc., the paper is going to be printed. And if it is a broadcast media, with the help of the OB vans, what we call outdoor broadcasting vans or DSNG vans, etc., the news is going to be covered in live for the benefit of the viewers. So as if the news happens, or as if the event happens somewhere, or accident, or any disaster, or any earthquake, etc., whenever that happens, exclusively that is going to be covered for the benefit of the mass media audience with the help of OB van or DSNG van, and that news is going to be covered in live. The newspaper can be printed in a single page, it can be printed in two pages, or it can have 28, 24 pages also. It depends on the newspaper organization, and whether it is a broadsheet newspaper or whether it is a tabloid, depending on the size also, we may have the newspapers are categorized into different types. Along with that, if you see the content specific, when we call, we have specialized magazines, general magazines, etc., and we also have newspapers like the mainstream newspapers, which covers different aspects for the benefit of the readers, and we may also have specialized newspapers which more focus on the financial news, etc., like Mint, Business Standard, Business Line, Financial Express, etc. Those are exclusively provide information relates to the financial matters or financial issues. And we also have the other newspapers which covers a wide variety of contents for the benefits of the readers. What are the different functions of journalism? So, in the previous classes, we also have discussed about the mass media functions and more or less the functions of the mass media. And here, the journalism will look like same. So journalism started ways back in India. If you see, the James Augustus Hickey is the one who first started a newspaper called Bengal Gazette, and after that there are many newspapers which came into existence, and there are many social reformers who fought for eradication of the social evils to promote social education among the members. When it comes to the functions of journalism, the information. So just now we have discussed that news is something which is happening throughout the globe. That is going to be the information relates to all that is going to be provided by the profession called journalism. So here the news is something which relates to various aspects. The news relates to the government, the news relates to the politics, it relates to the foreign affairs, weather, accidents, business, labor, education. So all those departments what we have under the government, all those will fall under the information, and the media is something which provides information relates to each and every aspect which is happening within the social systems. So that is relates to the information. So media provides information relating to various issues which are happening within the social system or throughout the globe. Interpretation of news. A journalism profession is where the journalists are working. The journalists will select the news for the benefit of the viewers, listeners, and the readers. And after the selection, they also interpret the news. So, as an individual, we might not know what is happening throughout the globe. Even though we know what is happening, we don't know the context or the history relates to the story. So, here the journalism is something which interprets the news for the benefit of the readers, viewers, and the listeners. So, media is not only setting an agenda which is prioritizing the news or in the form of headlines or placement of the stories in the broadcast media. Along with that, the media is also interprets the news which provides the history, the present context relates to the particular issue that is going to be dealt in the newspaper or a broadcast. Then entertainment. In a day-to-day life, we might be bored with the day-to-day works or day-to-day the routine life, etc., or routine works we are doing, etc. But here we depend on the media organizations for the purpose of the getting entertainment. So here media by providing different stories or by providing news, by providing music transmitted through the radio or the broadcast media like television, etc., which provides a lot of entertainment and amusement in a day-to-day life of a mass media audience. So here, if it is a newspaper, there are special pages which are going to be printed for the benefit of the readers, the issues which are creatively dealt in writing a story, etc. And news is written in a different style, but the leisurely read feature articles, etc., those are written in a more creative way so that they will provide entertainment for the public or the readers who are reading a newspaper or the feature article, etc. If it is a movie provides a lot of entertainment, and it also grabs the attention of the viewers because of the style of narration which happens in the movie. Broadcast media like television, as it is audiovisual medium, it grabs the attention of the viewers than any other medium does. Game shows, music shows, and the films or serials, soap operas. Serials are nothing but the soap operas. All those provide a lot of entertainment, and To cater the various needs, we also have 24 into 7 music channels, 24 into 7 movie channels, etc. Those will provide a lot of entertainment for the mass media audiences. The other function of journalism is advertising. Media is something, the journalism, that is a profession which persuades the audience to accept or reject a practice or a behavior, or it also promotes the goods and services which are offered by a company. And if you see the public service messages which are being promoted with the help of the profession called journalism, and we may have the public service ads in the form of printed advertisement, or they can be, we may have the radio commercials relates to the same, and we may also have the broadcast media, the audio visual advertisements that are going to be carried in the broadcast media. So here the advertising is, a lot of advertising is done to create awareness among the members of the social system, relates to a product or relates to a service which is offered by a company, or there may be the public service advertisements to create some kind of awareness among the members of the social system. Those are transmitted, relates to the driving safety, child care, health care, and family planning, wearing a helmet, wearing a seat belt, or avoid smoking, etc., avoid drinking alcohol. All those ads are being, we can call them as the social advertisements or public service advertisements, which will provide information to change the perception of the people regarding a particular thing that is going to be discussed in the ad. So here the advertisements persuade the audience to accept the practice of something or reject the practice of something, like wearing a seat belt. The media persuades the audience to start wearing a seat belt while they are driving. And if it is alcohol, the media persuades them to stop consuming alcohol as it affects the health of the individual. So, like that, a lot of advertising is being done with the help of the journalism, and that creates awareness among the members, relates to the various products and services offered by a companies, or relates to the public service ads which are going to be transmitted for the benefit of the individuals. And there are also the schemes or the policies, etc., which are being launched by the governments, whether central or state government. All that is being carried with the help of the journalism. And education, media also provides education apart from the information. The newspapers also prints special editions and special supplements to cater the needs of the youngsters, or to cater the educational needs of the various sections. And here, along with that, we also have the specialized 24 into 7 channels which run for the benefit of the viewers, which exclusively transmit the educational content, like TSAT. And if you see the countrywide classroom program, that is also a channel. And we have Gyanvani station that is launched by the All India Radio Network in collaboration with the Indira Gandhi National Open University. And we also have the Doordarshan. Doordarshan also is transmitting specific programs to promote education among the members. So, media, apart from providing information to the people on various issues, it also educate them, which also provides them guidance information on various issues in the form of the news, or in the form of any other news article, or it can be in the form of the programs in a broadcast media. And here in a broadcast media, again, there are programs which are being exclusively run by the stations to provide education, and there the subject experts are called, and we may get a chance as an audience, and we may pose a question, and the concerned subject experts also may answer our queries. That is what we call a phone in programs. And here the audience gets a chance to contact the resource person who is sitting in a radio station or in a broadcast media like television. And the news function, Yes, just now we have discussed news is something what is happening throughout the globe, that north, east, west, and south. All that information is being provided by the journalism profession for the benefit of the viewers, listeners, and the readers. So, unless we come to know about particular issues which are being dealt by the media, we will not be able to know what is happening throughout the globe. So, the news function is something which is again provides news and current affairs for the benefit of the individuals. Guidance. So, media all journalism also provides guidance, which also influence the individuals to accept a decision or to reject a decisions, etc. And it also changes the mindset of the individuals by providing information on various issues. So media also instructs them what they can do in their life, etc. So it provides a kind of guidance